Okay. Well.
Hi.
Hello. I'm Ernest.
I'm Lauren.
This is, if you guys have had this podcast feed for the better part of the last 2 years, you know the name of the podcast has been called That's So Christian. Now, we have actually done a name change after dusting off this thing for the first time in what's the last time we recorded together on this show?
I don't know.
At least
it's been
at
a
least
very,
6 months,
very long
8
time.
months. We decided to change the name of the podcast to what, Lauren?
We are changing it to Mixed Bag.
And Lauren, this is your idea, which I like.
Well,
why did you
because we talk about random things, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just things that we're either doing at the time, or things that pertain to us, or something like that. Plus, we do this so inconsistently that you get the rare mixed bag. Why not?
I like that. I like that explanation. And also too, I think becoming a little more topic centric is a little more fun. I think for us too. So because I'm a little more focused. Now how often we'll do this podcast moving forward? It could be weekly, it could be bi-weekly, it could be monthly. I don't know. We see how it feels. I got enough shows right now. I'm going on right now. I got my regular podcast, wrestling podcast. I got, of course, my wrestling podcast, Take Wrestling. I do it every Thursday, Friday, whatever. So I got a lot going on anyway. But I'd like to put some time into this one, especially too, because I think this is something I've been looking forward to doing, and I think now.
You gotta catch me in the rare moments when I'm not completely drained of all my energy and can actually
from motherhood and working and motherhood and wifehood,
and then motherhood and then.
I feel bad for you. You have 2 kids. A third kid is an adult. Me. We got pets too, also on top of that to take care of. So 2 cats and a dog. We got a lot going on here in the Christian household. Yeah, so we're no longer that so Christian. We're just a mixed bag.
That's exactly what we are.
Today's topic, today I'm looking forward to doing, because today's topic we wanted to.
You've been talking about doing this for a while now.
Yes, and I'm happy to do this. We are going to rank your favorite band of all time, their albums, Incubus. I'm a fan, obviously, the band. This is your favorite band of all time, though.
Yeah. It's definitely one of them.
It's
one I've been listening to for...
The longest, probably?
Yeah, probably. Other than, the bands that I grew up on, I got into Incubus in high school, actually. So I was, way years late on that train. But... Yeah, a couple of my friends in high school had gotten me hooked on them, and I've been hooked ever since.
And it's kind of cool doing this now, especially too, because as I'm reading here right now, this year is their 30th anniversary of being a band. They formed in 1991. Of course, they formed with, of course, lead singer Brandon Boyd, your man crush of the century.
Yes.
Lead guitarist Mike Inziger.
Yes. And
drummer, of course, Jose Pasillas. They are from Calabasas, California. They are a band I recommend to many people that to should listen to. If you want to know what kind of music they actually dabble into, the influences, they're definitely alternative rock, alternative metal, funk rock, funk metal, new metal, you name it. But if you listen to their entire 30-year discography,
there's even pop in there.
I would say so. Yeah, a little bit. There's a lot of influence in there. If you
pop rock maybe, but they're I don't know. They're if you listen to their albums in order, they just progressively change.
Right. And they're a band that's definitely, their sound has changed through the years, in the 30 years, which is why we're doing this, especially too, because I think we have certain moments that we prefer to others. I know, I've gotten debates through the years of being together, what albums we prefer over the others and whatnot. And this is why we're doing this now. So, and it's kind of cool that I just found out today that because I know they started early 90s. I didn't know it was 91. And in fact, that was 2021. It's 30 years. It's actually kind of cool to be doing this now. So we're going to rank all 8 albums of Incubus. From worst to first. Now, here are the albums in order, discography order. You got Fungus Among Us that came out, it was 1997. 96, You got Science that came out in 1997. Make Yourself 1999. Morning View in 2000. I'm going back 2001, maybe on one. I'll take it in a second. hold on, real quick.
Crow Left of the Murder.
Yeah, you're right. Going Fuse 2001, A Crow Left of the Murder 2004, Like Grenades 2006, If Not Now When in 2011, and 8 was released 4 years ago in 2017. So we're gonna rank these albums, discuss a little bit, see where where it lies there. They've sold 19 million records worldwide, which is really, really good.
Yeah.
Combined. So
most people know them for their song "Drive," which
yes, the biggest radio hit. You hear that song not just on rock radio, even on contemporary radio too.
Yeah.
So all right. So like I said, 8 albums. We're gonna discuss it and rank them and see why we rank them where they are. Where's the first? So number 8. Lauren, you want to go first? What is of the 8 albums? What is your worst Incubus album?
8.
Go figure. It's mine also. 8.
8 was produced by Skrillex. And it was just... and I tried. I was trying to listen to it tonight before this, and I'm just, like, listening to these songs, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so... Bleh.
So we saw... Okay, so we saw him live for the second time, touring for this record, in July 2017.
I think, didn't we get there right as they were finishing up Nimble Bastard?
No, we were leaving.
Or we were leaving.
You left.
Okay.
Which is
they
funny.
Started doing that album
so
and I was like, I'm gone.
Right. So No Bastard is a song. That song's on the album. So here's my... I think you and I are actually on the same page when it comes to this album.
This album is overproduced.
Oh, Skrillex did it. So yeah.
It's overproduced. And the thing is Brandon Boyd, I absolutely love his voice. His voice to me is just, it's like
perfection.
It's like butter. It's just so,
is it salted butter or unsalted butter?
Depends on which song you're listening to.
Right.
But anyway, so like to listen to this album and hear his voice so overproduced that half the time I don't even know how to explain it. It's just, it's overproduced. That's all there is.
Let me
terrible.
A little bit insight, and I think you and I have the same reason why we have number 8 as our quote unquote worst album. Doesn't mean we don't like the album, because there's definitely some songs on the album I do enjoy, and I think this album actually has good songs as well too in there. But I think, as you said, overproduced. And somebody saw, and the reason why I knew this especially too was that when we saw him in 2017 at the amphitheater here in Palm Beach, they played some of those songs live.
Yeah.
And it sounded much better live than it did.
Yeah, they were different. But I still have even the lyrics on that album are just so straightforward, and it's so not like them. It's just,
I'm all for bands taking chances for the record. I'm all for
when they don't work, they don't work. And it was, I have an issue with certain bands that take chances with other producers that they probably shouldn't have taken chances with. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there's 2 I could name off the top of my head that you like, but I don't. I hate them. And it's just, I don't know, for some reason, I just feel like if you're going to take a chance,
right,
make sure it's the right chance. Like, make sure it's the right producer that you're doing this with. Because if they fuck it up in any way, it's terrible.
Yeah, and you can't connect. I don't see them working on Skrillex again. I don't know if they feel the same way as fans feel about the record in terms of the backlash. But I don't see them. I feel like this was part of an experiment with Skrillex, because at the time he was still pretty well known, pretty hot as a producer. But he's also a producer that's in another genre. He was EDM, right? EDM.
So, but this is what really gets me is, like, when Incubus first came out, they were such an experimental band.
Yeah.
Like, everything they did was
kind of fits.
But it worked back then. This did not. It just didn't click.
No.
There was, and I've tried to listen to the album and I can't get through it.
Right. Okay. So we're on the same page as number 8.
Yes.
Number 7. What is your 7th best Incubus album of the 8?
Like Grenades.
Like Grenades, number 7 for you. Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Light Grenades.
Light Grenades, okay. So Light Grenades came out in 2006. It came out actually the year we started dating.
Yes.
Yes. And I remember that when we got this album together.
Yes.
We actually bought it the summer of 2016.
Yes.
2006, sorry, not 2016, 2006. And I remember you being disappointed. You know, not very happy about
Some
it.
of the songs on there, it's like the album is split in half for me. Like the first half of it is just meh. The second half of it is like where it picks up and it kicks off. It's just like awesome after that. But like the first half of the album is like, like I can listen to it every once in a blue moon. I'll listen to one of the songs from there. But like, I much prefer the second half.
Well, this album is actually ranked much higher on my list.
I know that,
and we'll get to that.
I know that because your 7 is probably Crow.
Actually, no. Number 7 to me is Fungus Among Us. Oh. And the only reason why it's even that low is because I and honestly 6 and 7 could be interchangeable. It'd be the same thing. I actually like Fungus Among Us a lot, but I don't play as much. The ones I don't play, I played one the least, honestly. And I probably shouldn't. Maybe
Fungus Among Us.
I don't know. Maybe a year from now I might change my mind. I don't know. I don't play enough. I guess of all the albums up here, I just probably the least played, which is kind of crazy because.
Well, I think a lot of the problem with that is that like, we have Apple Music and Fungus Among Us is not on Apple Music.
Yeah, it's actually...
Like, you can have Enjoy Incubus, the EP, which has a lot of the songs that are from Fungus Among Us, but like the whole album itself is not there.
Right, so if you, for example, if you go on streaming, for example, you see Enjoy Incubus, this is actually Fungus Among Us. I don't know why...
It's not all of it, because there's only 7 songs, but most of it is what's off of Fungus Among Us. Right,
so that's why we recognize Fungus Among Us. But honestly, it's only low because it's the least played of the 8.
But like for me, I have it played. Like when I shuffle through my Incubus stuff, that plays a lot.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, number 6. This will be interesting. I think the next 6 will be pretty interesting here going forward. What's number 6? The Incubus album.
I think I put Fungus Among Us at 6.
Okay. For the same reason I did number 7, or it's in the same area.
No, just because the albums that I have higher are my like favorite. Some of my favorite things to listen to, just in any mood at any time. They're just Fungus Among Us is. The thing is 1 through 6 could really just be like I could make those 6 albums a playlist and be happy.
What's funny if you go on Wikipedia, it recognizes Fungus Among Us, by the way.
Yeah.
1995 it came out, by the way. 95 it came out. My number 6 actually is A Crow Left of the Murder. Now, you and I have actually had a lot of arguments about this through the years about why that's one of my. No, so a little background about this album for me. Okay, so this came out in 2003, I believe, or 4. 4. And this is around the time where I kind of got I was a little over Incubus at this point, a little bit. I loved the albums before that came out, and Incubus at this point was on radio so much on rock radio. No. This is
Megalomaniac. That's the one song off that album that was played over and over and over again. Right.
Also, I'm not gonna lie to you, Megalomaniac was actually a anti-George Bush song. Mm-hmm. At the time, I was still a Republican, and that year I voted for Bush re-election. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of like, well, what the hell? You need to respect your president. This kind of, no. Look, I've gone obviously. My political.
We're not turning this into.
No, I know we're not. No. But
But Incubus, as far as I know, is a liberal band.
No. But I'm trying to give you guys, listeners here, a headspace of where I was at. I got a little over Incubus at that point.
I think you should really go back and listen to it because a lot of it pertains to today.
No doubt. No. And but I think also too as well. I think of all the Incubus albums we played 30 years of being together, we've been together now 15 years. Mm-hmm. I think that's the one you play the most in the car.
Crow?
Yes. To me. When we're together. I got tired of it. There's good songs in there. Pistola is a good song on there.
That's not the one I played
Pistola,
the most.
What else song? I mean, Big Man is a decent song, obviously, but there's songs in there that I do like that stand out. But I think I just got
Leech
a
is
little
on there, Smile Lines.
Yeah,
is
Talk
on
Shows on
there.
Mute. I think I just got a little tired of the band. I think those songs kind of warm me a little bit.
think
Do I
you should
like
go
the
back
album?
and give it a chance.
Do I like the album? Yes. Are the good songs are? Yes. But I think at the time when we started dating, too, especially, I was kind of like, okay, whatever. He's like a little over it. So,
Okay, so where are we at now? Recap.
that was number 6 for me. Number 6 was for you was what? Mine was Crow. Yours was
Fungus and
Fungus Fungus. Okay, so number 5. What is your 5th favorite
If
Incubus
not
album?
now, when?
To me, and I'll get to it when we get to on that part of the discussion point. Why number 5 for you? Real quick, if I jump in.
I can't. Okay, so like I said, 1 through 6 could literally be a playlist, and I would be happy.
Right.
So it's very hard for me to rank these albums because I love them so much. So I think at this point, I'm going based on
right now.
what I've listened to the most, what I enjoy listening to.
What connects with you more than anything else?
Yeah, and if not now, when? I remember when that album came out, and I did connect with it a lot then.
We actually got married the year it came out.
Yeah, and that album is just there's a lot of it that I happen I happen to love that album a lot.
Okay. 5 for me is Morning View.
Go fuck yourself.
I'll be honest with you.
Stop it.
4 and 5 can actually go
no
backwards.
No.
I love Morning View a lot. Actually,
Stop it.
I love Morning View, but I'm going to tell you why I have it where it's at. It's less to do with Morning View, and more don't play the songs.
I'm not playing songs.
Yeah, it's less to do with Morning View and more to do with the other 4 albums ahead of it. I'm gonna explain my I'm gonna defend myself here more. Why? It's a great record. It's actually one of their probably creatively one of their best records they've done. You know what I'm saying?
I hate you.
Wish You Were Here was on that album too, isn't it?
That's what I was trying.
Yeah, don't play. Don't
Wish
comprehend.
You Were Here.
Yeah, it's Circles. It's a great album. To me, if anything, it sounds like a continuation of Make Yourself.
No.
Which is funny because it's only 2 years apart.
They're different. They're very different.
You think both albums are different from each other? No, I no. It's not an insult, Lauren, when I put them number 5. But I have strong feelings about the 4 albums ahead of it.
If you fucking tell me that you put Light Grenades before Morning View, I'm going to knock you out. You're insane.
Well, let's find out now. Where's Light Grenades?
You're
I was
insane.
headed
You're
now.
insane.
Okay, number 4.
Number 4 for me is Crow.
Okay. Defend Crow because I sometimes
I'm exhausted trying to defend Crow.
Okay, so because Crow, sometimes the way you explain Crow is like your favorite record of theirs.
It's okay.
There are moments
now. The top 4, my top 4, are the ones I think I've listened to the most. The ones that I know the best. Okay? And Crow, for me, has so many songs on there that at any given time, at any point in the day, I could put one of those on and relate to what it's saying. Like, it literally doesn't even matter what song on that album. At any point during the day, there are so many songs that, like, I could just relate to and be like, yeah.
It's definitely lyrically one of their most, like, ballsiest records because of some of the subject matters that they tap into.
Well, they talk about,
but they're still creative about it, too, even while you do it.
Like, outside of Megalomaniac, I mean, you have Agoraphobia, which is, like, I want to stay inside, like, just leave me in my room, I'm good,
I love that.
And then
by the way, the end of that song is the best part. Like, for good, fuck off.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what is best.
And then you have, like, Six Sad Little World, which is, like, we live in such a...
And
that's what I'm saying.
That's a song.
This fucking album, I can't.
This song, Six Sad Little World, is one of the most well-played songs you've done.
Yeah, because even though this album came out in 2004... Here we are, 17 years later, And this world is still, like, going to shit.
Like,
we are living in a sick, sad little world.
Right.
And, I mean, that can pertain to anything, environmentally, politically, like, you know, like, just any climate you want to speak of.
I'm not going to lie to you, I'm actually surprised it's not higher than any list. I'm actually surprised.
Well, think of the last three.
Of course, but
think of the last three, though.
We're going to go in a second and we'll defend it. Number 4 for me is actually, if not now, when. This is their most underrated album of the 8. Because most hardcore fans...
I'm done with you. I don't want to finish this conversation. I'm going to tell you right now what my top 3 are, and then we're ending it. Because I don't want to hear anymore. Because I know Light Grenades is going to be in your top 3, and I can't. I just can't.
So this album, to me, and it's funny because like, if you talk to people who have been fans of this band from the beginning, or at least in the late 90s, they would say this is the worst record because it's all ballads, it's slow. I think despite the fact that it's mostly a very mellow record, it's actually, the interpretation is still there.
The interpretation is there, but it's just, a lot of it is, like, even just the first song on that album, it gives you the... Brandon Boyd's like vocal range, like it just, and I could listen to that man sing all the time, okay, but it starts from this low register and gets to this higher, like it's just beautiful.
Because most of the songs, they most of the songs, especially with their albums, pretty much every album they release, it's always a hard punching song out the gate.
But that album is chill. That album, like, I just want to chill.
But yet, to me, that was the album to me, and obviously, it's crazy to say this because, like, he's had so many phenomenal moments, even before that, vocally. But this album really showcased Brandon Boyd as a vocalist.
I don't understand how you have Light Grenades above this one. I don't understand how you have Light Grenades above Morning View. I don't understand. Let
me say this real quick. I think Morning View is probably a better album than... Light Grenades, but this is about personal favorites.
This is what I think. This is what my theory. Okay, is that we've constantly compared Light Grenades and Crow, and I think we've argued so much about the two, which is why I'm exhausted defending Crow, that I think you have like hyped out Light Grenades for yourself. And I don't think you've actually like listened to the whole album in full in a long time. And I think you just hyped it up so much for yourself that you threw it up top on your list because you were like, well, fuck Lauren. She's going to have this, so I'm going to do it.
I have to do it. I mean, I have to do things like that once in a while. No. Number 3.
I can't
Okay. You. So number 3 was yours. Number 3.
That's Morning View.
Okay. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's a phenomenal record. It's a great record.
My 1 and 2 are my top... 1 and 2...
We'll get there in a second.
Okay, so the way my 3 and 4 are interchangeable, and 5 and 6 are interchangeable.
What? I got a case that 4 and 5 are interchangeable too.
But 1 honestly. And 2 are not interchangeable, and those are my 2 favorites.
I think we have the same 1 and 2. I believe. We'll get there in a second.
No, we don't.
We'll see. That's way
well, 3 is Light Grenades.
3 is Light Grenades. Yes.
Okay, then we do have the same top 2.
Yeah. Okay, so, like I said, Light Grenades came out when we first started dating, as I mentioned earlier.
That can't be why it's that high.
No. That has nothing to do with that. I don't know. I think I got back into Incubus again around this time. And there's some really good songs on this album. Really good songs. Now, the only thing I will say about this, we saw Incubus live for the first time actually the same year too, and we did not enjoy that show. I know I didn't enjoy that show as much. In 06, when we saw him the first time in 2006.
I enjoyed it.
I
had to.
He didn't interact with the crowd. Brandon was not really interacting with the crowd, and I wasn't as it was okay. It wasn't.
Look it. I don't go to a concert to hear them speak their bullshit to me. Oh, welcome to Florida, everybody, yeah, we're down in Florida, fuck yeah, Florida's so great, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't need that shit. Just fucking sing to me, okay? That's all I want to hear. I want to hear what you sound like outside of the studio. I don't need your bullshit, okay? We're not sitting in a room, in a coffee shop, you know, where it's intimate and all that. If I'm seeing you in an amphitheater, just fucking sing.
Okay.
So I wasn't disappointed because I actually got to hear them perform.
Right. So the songs on Like It Is to me are very, very strong to me. Now, the argument for this album, I think for you especially too, is that I think a lot of people I've heard with this record is that it's very stripped down sound wise. It's very production wise. It's very stripped down.
The first half, the second half is not.
Okay. I know, but I don't know. This album to me is special to me. It's one of those albums where, like, you know, I say it and then people are like, "Wow, really? Like Grenades?" Right? Yeah. I will argue that Morning Review is a better album than Like Grenades. I will argue that even, you know, Crow is better than Like Grenades as an album. But Like Grenades is a special album to me, and that's why I have it ranked so high. So
you make me want to.
Well, is it the argument with? Okay, perfect example, real quick. Michael Jackson, Thriller. Everybody says it's a great album. Michael Jackson Thriller is not even my top 5 favorite Michael Jackson albums, and that shocks everybody because, like, Thriller is obviously a great record, but it's not my favorite. It's just not my favorite album of his. People get shot when I say that, but, you know, hey, it's the same idea.
No, it's definitely not the same idea, considering that anybody who knows you knows your obsession with Michael Jackson, and therefore knows that you know the entire discography of Michael Jackson, and therefore would be able to pick anything to you that is better than his most popular.
Lauren, I also know Incubus is a technical discography as well too. So
you know it, but you are not nearly as obsessed with Incubus.
No,
as you are with Michael Jackson,
and
that's what I'm saying. Is you can sit there and fall in love with anything Michael Jackson puts out or would have put out.
Well, he's not here anymore.
Okay, yes, I know. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
R.I.P.
Okay, number 2.
King of Pop.
Before we go to blows.
Number 2 is obviously Make Yourself.
Mine also too.
Actually, 1 and 2 are interchangeable. And Make Yourself, I will tell you. I put Make Yourself above Morning View.
Because
the title song on that album is my favorite Incubus song.
It's still favorite? Okay.
Because that song is like my constant reminder. That's what that is. And the other reason I put it just slightly above Morning View is because of the very last song on Morning View. Aqueous Transmission.
Mm-hmm.
The very tail end of that song is just frogs croaking.
And you hate frogs. Of course you hate frogs.
And so, like, I listen to the song and then I just stop listening to it when the frogs come on.
Thanks for telling me that. Now in the future I know how to do that. My favorite Incubus song actually is on this album.
On Make Yourself, it's The Warmth.
The Warmth. With the whales in the beginning. Really?
Yes.
This is their Black album. This is their Thriller. This is their biggest mainstream success. This album. This is the album that made them, Incubus, into the mainstream.
Yeah.
It's every song hits. Every song, the production's great. Brandon's great. You know, when you have songs like Drive that go to that's played on contemporary radio, you know you made it.
That's the only reason I think I put my number 1 album as my number 1.
Right.
Because I used to like Drive.
Overplayed, right?
And now it's to the point where it's... But I've heard so many other things that they've put out there that's just so much better.
Well, but again, this is their mainstream. This is their... We're gonna... I use this term in, music. This is our sellout song. We're gonna do the song once on to sell more records.
But see, I feel like Morning View was more the sellout album.
No, this is it. Morning View was just more straight. Morning View was very mainstream, but Morning View continued from Make Yourself.
I don't know. I feel like we have Drive off of Make Yourself, but like the rest of the album itself doesn't sound so mainstream, or at least as mainstream as Morning View sounds.
They can be case, but Drive is so big, that song alone trumps anything that those 2 albums have to the mainstream.
Yeah.
So there you go. We agree on that one, and of course we agree on number 1, Science. Science is amazing. Science is creatively their best record. Creatively.
100%.
It's not mainstream enough to be a mainstream record. It's not, but it's definitely cool enough to at least tap into a little bit of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's that and Fungus Among Us are like those deep dive albums. Like, you can listen to Incubus and be like, oh yeah, I'm a fan of Incubus, and not know those two albums, and then go listen to them and go, that's Incubus?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
like,
then you make a choice. Do you like their music going forward, or are you just a fan of the casual stuff?
But I remember I got into them, I think, because of Drive. I think Drive was actually the song that got me into Incubus.
It worked.
And then when I went and I did the whole discography, I fell in love with
there you
Science.
go. So it worked. You were one of the, not victim. You were one of the people that got hooked. Drive hooked you, and then you get the hook, and then you start discovering all their material.
Yeah.
Science to me is just perfection. Like Science might be one of my top 10 favorite records of all time of any artist.
Yeah.
Man, I really did a top 10 albums.
It just flows.
It flows well, and it's aggressive, but not. But it has what made Science better than Fungus Among Us is that it was in your face, but there was room to breathe.
But even just like the lyrics are so original. They're so creative, the way they speak about things on that album, the way they speak about, like, what it's like to be addicted to watching television and to believe what the news tells you, and to, like the I don't know, that album is just so...
I love the raw... One thing, I love the rawness. I love heavy. I'm a metalhead. I love...
But it's also, like, the songs on there are also about not being created in like your parents' image. Like, it's to find yourself and to really create your own views and create your own morals and create, that whole album is just... And it actually... Oddly enough, the lyrics of that lead very well into Make Yourself. And it's just...
to me, it really is the most... It is actually the most complete album of Incubus, because you start seeing the clues also in this album, too, of them being, we're heavy still, but we could be a mainstream band, too. Mm-hmm. Of course, we don't think they're going to go to the effect of Drive. But you can see signs of that, and that's why.
The thing is you can also see like how talented they are.
Oh God, yeah.
As a band, because even like you and I have had discussions about this, where like Michael Jackson makes like his voice, he uses his voice as an instrument.
Yeah.
Whereas on Science, Brandon Boyd does the same thing.
Yeah.
Where he'll make little noises that kind of go along with like another sound effect. It's just amazing. Yeah. The whole album is just
right. It is their most complete record, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it really is, and that's why.
And I can listen to it from start to finish and not hate a single song.
It is probably of all their albums to me, even though I love Like Grenade, I love these other albums. Science might be the most. I think is the only unskippable album on their discography. Yeah. Like every song I can go through and I'll be okay with the whole thing without skipping anything.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so there you go. We're first podcast with the new name and whatnot. Hopefully, do this again soon. Next couple of weeks, we'll see when, and that's all time. But like I said, check out if you don't know Incubus, I highly recommend it by me, especially recommend by Lauren, who's a friend band.
For sure.
If you love music and you love rock music and you love diversity and just creative music, especially with a 30-year sample, this band is for you definitely. So. Any last thoughts?
They're amazing. Incubus is amazing. And I'd like to thank them for being them.
Yes. Okay, so I guess for our first episode under the new name, Mixed Bag. Until next one, I'm Ernest.
And I'm Lauren.
And we'll talk to you next time.